Good evening. So, there is an orderliness in the universe. There is an unalterable law governing everything and every being that exists or lives. It is no blind law, for no blind law can govern the conduct of living beings. Mahatma Gandhi. All right, well, today I've got a special episode. I have a specific agenda today. About a week ago, I came across a video here on YouTube by a gentleman named Scott Davis. He does astrology and some other stuff even broader than astrology. I really liked his work on explaining 2012 from that perspective, which is what his videos that he puts out periodically are. Recognizing the October 28th guideline that had come to pass last year, and this new, I guess what you call an interim period we're in now. And he has very serious and extensive knowledge base for the guidance. So I figured, what the hell? If he's giving personal readings, I should try him out, because what he was saying about Earth made sense and was seeming to come to pass. Not in weird specific prophecies, but something a little bit harder to explain. You have to watch and understand and maybe, learn a thing or two. So, let me tell you a little bit about what he does. Scott does basic astrology, but he also does something called human design, something called the Rave Mandala, which works with both astrology and the Chinese I Ching. Let me tell you something. It was fascinating. If ever you can do something that helps you figure out a better approach to life, it's this thing. There are a lot of elements to it, but let me give you the basics. It tells you which center of your being drives you, what parts are open-ended. For instance, me, my actual center, which, on the charts, basically right here, but this very center is not the heart. But it's like called the G or something, not the G spot, but I don't remember off the top of my head, forgive me. But doesn't matter. So that was open, and my heart was open. But something called the solar plexus is something that I have securely defined. Basically, my emotions and commitments are all over the place, but my gut feelings are always to be trusted. That's essentially what that means, and how it affects my personal decision making, etc., etc. It also takes into account what hemisphere of your brain is dominant. I was very shocked, without giving any information about my thinking or whether I was left or right-handed or whatever. It showed me with strong connections to the right hemisphere of my brain, meaning abstract thinking and everything else. That I already knew about myself, and that is extremely scientific. So that's that. Another funny thing is that, well before I did this reading, I've been using YouTube to voice controversy, such as these various episodes you see, and say what must be said to the world. I am considered a heretic in this Rave Mandala system. Something about just the way that I work in saying things that get under people's skin. That's a natural part of things. And before YouTube, I've always been the ass clown that says something really, really offensive. And usually it's really, really offensive because it's very, very topical. I could be saying something about about sexual orientation and the way we look at things that way, aspects of religion, aspects of what is real, etc., etc. And you see this more and more so as we continue forward. With my videos, the 10 of them now that are out there, plus my pilot. So, after about an hour or two, we had our Skype session, and I felt it feeling more complete than, or I left it feeling more complete than ever. It was something I really loved doing. Scott also does a Mayan astrology chart and the Chinese zodiac, and I think he does some others as well. And he does, and this is part of what he does. So it's charged, so you're going to be able to, if you end up contacting this guy, you talk to him about it and you do what you do. So, let me just give my brief opinion about astrology while we're at it here. I believe it, but I don't believe it in the popular horoscopes and all that, or anything that gets vaguely specific. Like, ooh, there'll be a new spark in your love life. It's just like, really? Just shut up. There's no new sparks. I like the spark I have now. My girlfriend's great. So the newspaper can't do anything for you. You need somebody that you can really sit down, they talk to you about who exactly you are and everything else. So anyway, point is that it's a bunch of false hope and false prophets as far as I'm concerned. I'm an Aries as my sun sign, as in, when somebody says, what's your sign? We're specifically saying it's our sun sign. That's how it works. So I am certainly that. I've known about, being an Aries, what it means to be an Aries for a long time. Fire sign, aggressive, competitive, headstrong, etc. I am all of those things. Now, on a scientific level, all matter is energy, right? All density is matter within a given space. And the energy that comes from that matter affects everything, including the human body and mind. So, just as there are currents in the oceans we cannot see, there are currents in space we cannot see. That is the point of astrology, how the energy of the universe shifts and how that shift affects, not defines, but affects us. That is why I believe it. Not some faith in voodoo, but from a place of understanding. I believe 2012 will be defined as the age when science and spirit find their common denominator. Because it's very interesting the way people studying biology and electromagnetic energy in the human body, and then they start noticing how it affects certain things, and then they're just like, okay, what's causing all these effects, etc., etc. And they're looking at us, oh, well, you get X amount of sunlight, it changes the way you behave. You get X amount of time in during this season, and it's more than just the weather and the sunshine makes you happy, and that's got an effect on you, and yada yada yada. I think I heard something about a study that coincidentally there's more crime or wild behavior or something that occurs during a full moon, which I find that to be incredibly fascinating. We can talk about where that ties into the lore of werewolves if you want. I personally love werewolves in mythology. I've got a tattoo of a werewolf on my chest, which has an open third eye chakra. It's a pretty kick-ass tattoo, but I'm not taking my shirt off for all you ass clowns, not even the ladies. Anyway. Because this has been a special episode, I'm actually going to add a few important links at the bottom of the page that are all tied into what Scott does, because he did so great that I wanted to help him out. And I encourage you to try him out if you like what you see. I have this email address coming up in just a moment as we come to the close. Thank you, and namaste.